ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओं नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ in the Parayanam today we will do Tritiya Bhruguvalli. Veda Mantra Upanishad Parayanam is the best occupation, in fact, as regard the chantings are concerned. Third one, Bhruguvalli. We will do the 6 Anuvaka Parayanam. Om Atha Tritiya Bhruguvalli. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। भृगुर्वैवारुणिः वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तस्मा एतत्प्रोवाच अन्नं प्राणं चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाचमिति तगुंहोवाच यतो वा इमानि भूतानि जायन्ते येन जातानि जीवन्ति यत्प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति तद्विजिज्ञासस्व तद्ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सदवस्तप्त्वा अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ते विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतबोधप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा आनन्दो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाध्येव कल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्दे न जातानि जीवन्ति आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नतः श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत श्री तैत्तरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Let us invoke the grace of all the masters, rishis, munis. Om Shri Parabrahmane Namaha. Samasta Brahma Vidya Acharyebhyo Namaha. Rushibhyo Namaha. Munibhyo Namaha. Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Vedavyasa Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Vaishambhayana Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Agnavalkya Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Adya Shankara Sadgurave Namo Namaha. Today's thought in the introduction is about one beautiful quality which we can try to develop in us and which we every day should pray to the Lord to bless us with. And that quality is the quality of jignasa. Jignasa means wanting to know. This jignasa, wanting to know, wanting to do, wanting to gain, wanting to indulge, we already have for the outer world. That want alone made the outer world to yield us so many things through the scientific discoveries, investigations, but all of them are bhoga pradhana. Same the desire to know, the wanting to know, we should develop about our Shastras. What our Shastras are telling, whatever the Vedanta Granthas are explaining to us, what are the Upanishad meaning trying to convey to us. If this jignasa is developed like you all have, because of which alone you are regular to the classes, that jignasa, when it becomes more intense, then our pursuit of spirituality will go beyond listening to the class, also enter into the next level of doing one's our own homework. When the jignasa further grows, then our desire to understand every word and every sentence grows. And then, when we understand every word sentence, then we will see the beautiful purpose, meaning, feeling, and the guidance and compassion and the blessings. The Shruti Mata and the Rishi Parampara are wanting to give us through those mantras. Like when somebody expresses their love through the words. When we are very casual, then we don't listen it also. Even if we listen, we don't even acknowledge. Even if we acknowledge, it's very superficial. But if we give a pause and try to understand every word uttered by that person and go beyond the words and sentences into the feeling or the heart of that person, you know what he means, what that person means to you. He is expressing genuinely from the heart the prema, love. Seldom we do that. We just brush it aside. The unwanted negative things we take seriously and analyze every word, every sentence, and misinterpret the person's intentions, and thus we make everybody enemy. Instead of that, when you look into somebody's eyes or the heart and then listen the words which they utter of love, we understand their greatness. In the same way, with the jignasa, when we pause it every shloka mantra level and deeply understand the word sentence meaning, and through that when you go to the heart of the rishi or the shruti mata through this upanishad what they want to convey, you will be amazed with their beautiful kindness, compassion behind all that, and all that put together is one. They are so miserable and painful than us when they are seeing us that we are bound in our ignorance and this upaditadatma jiva bhava, and they are more thousand times intense and deep in their desire, willingness, and urgency to give us the mukti, to see that we get mukti. That we can see in the heart, like Puja Gurudev, his work, his writings. If you see how much of intention of wanting to help us, guide us to evolve. So too with our classes, our intense desire, idea that let the knowledge of the Shastras reach to everyone. Let them deserve it. Let them know how great is our culture, our Sanatana Dharma, how great is spiritual knowledge, how great if that spiritual pursuit is taken up, that we get out of all our problems. So the deep, intense desire is there in us in conducting these classes regularly. If somebody knows it, if you have got that sensitivity, then they will not leave even one class. In the same way, that jignasa we have to develop. Ask the Lord for one thing. Let me have the jignasa to pierce deeply into what is said in our scriptures. Then what is intended by our rishis, munis. Then comes after that what they are experiencing. That alone they want to convey to us through the Upanishadic mantras, and that is the anubhava of the Parama Atma. And then when we try that, test that, taste that, we will know that there is nothing greater, grander, glorious than that. Then if that jignasa to know is not there of the truth and through the shastras and the teachings of Rishi, then our jignasa will be for something else, or will be only emotional, and all our life will be only of the world. See, jignasa, what is in Mahabharata, what is in Valmiki Ramayanam, what is in our Gita, what is there in the Upanishads, in general and in particular and in deeper, as what they want to convey. Should we not have that jignasa and do that? Jignasa everywhere is useful. Japa sadhana. There should be jignasa as to understand every aspect of japa, as to how it has to be done and why it has to be done, and whom from we have to take it and which one we have to do. So ये सारा उसका जिज्ञासा हो तो पक्का वो पिक्चर होता है. So to जिज्ञासा about what are the upasana purposes, steps involved, techniques involved, preparations and practices. When that jignasa for the upasana is there, you will deeply know it, and when you know it, you will understand it is such a wonderful, important thing it is. Mind of human being is given the intellect which can have jignasa, which can inquire, and which can know the deeper truths. We have to make use of it. So today's our thought is what? Jignasa. हमारे ऋषि मुनि गुरुओं ने शास्त्र में क्या कहा, and not superficial meaning, deeply, as I said, not only the meaning behind the word sentences, but their intention, what they want to say, what they want to convey. Are they binding us through all that, or are they guiding us for something higher? That jignasa when we have. In fact, in the world also, when you have jignasa about any situation, no situation will turn into problem. Through every situation, you can negotiate and move ahead, or even if it appears to be a problem, through jignasa, we can clearly find the solution of it. That which doesn't allow us to have the jignasa is sentiments and emotions, or our own some attractions, some thoughts regarding outer world. Then we go for it. then there's no jignasa at all to say, to know what is there in our Gita, what Krishna taught us. क्या फर्क पड़ता है सुने ना सुने, like all animals, they study or don't study shastras, they do meditation or not, उनका तो जिंदगी चल रहा है. And some of the animals, when they are lucky, they are even put effort. They get very good food for that day. You know, when the monkeys jump from one tree to other, sometimes very ripened foods only they get. And when the dogs are lucky, they go to some kachra kundi and get good food one day. So too when the birds fly, they get a good food. So too we are all working hard at getting good food or good comforts. Not much difference. If the jignasa is not there in us, our life would be just like that. And all the people, most of them, bechara, ignorant or innocent, they do like that only. But some of the genius who get that jignasa, either they become big scientists of the world because the jignasa takes them to find the secrets behind the world, or they become the great servants and contributors of the world because jignasu understands what is the world, what the world needs, what I can do the best. Or the jignasu becomes the spiritual pursuer where he tries to know the substratum behind everything. And that substratum in all its logics is explained to us through Shastra, therefore Shastra Adhyayana Jignasa. Jnatumicha Jignasa. So the entire Vedanta is based on that only. The whole Upanishad's essence is given in Brahma Sutras. The Brahma Sutra starts with the Jignasa Adhikaranam only. Athato Brahma Jignasa. जन्मादि असेतः शास्त्रयो नित्वात् तत्व समन्वयात्. Let's pray to God. Guru ki so intense should be our jignasa that throughout the day we are with the book in front of us, with in our hands, and we are so deeply involving in that and studying. एक ये जिज्ञासा आ गए ना, फिर परमात्मा समझ में आने लगते हैं, माया समझ में आने लगता है, माया कृत ये जीव जगत का पोजीशन क्या है समझ में आने लगता है, फिर उसको कितना वैल्यू देना नहीं देना, दैट आल्सो विल अंडरस्टैंड. फाइनली व्हाट इज टू बी वैल्यूड, व्हाट इज टू बी परस्यूड. Once this is known, what is to be valued and pursued, what is to be devalued and should not be pursued, then we make our life so beautiful. So may the Lord bless us with jignasa. Now in this Taittiriya Upanishad, in our effort because of our jignasa, we started a couple of weeks back. So we have seen the Upodghatam or introductory Bhashyam by Bhagavan Shankara. Then we studied these three mantras, Yasmat Jatam Jagat Sarmam. Then we entered into the first Anuvaka of the Siksha Valli. There we studied about the Shanno Mitra mantra and its meaning and purpose. Then we saw the need of Shiksha Dhyaya. Then we entered into Samhita Upanishad, Sandhi Upanishad or Upasana with 5 examples which give an idea for us to throughout the day live the life of Upasana, where we are seeing Pura Rupam, Uttara Rupam, Sandhi and Sandhanam. That's the beauty that is happening, and there is an unseen hand of the Divine Lord in whose presence or prompting or blessing it is happening. Our jignasa is for him. So through upasana of the world, we come to understand about the being behind. He is also upasana when we do, without knowing what he is ultimately. His blessings come to us, giving us maximum sukha or benefits in all these mahasagamhitas which are appearing in the world. And along with upasana, when we develop jignasa, for that principle, who is behind all these great phenomenal Mahasamhita Upanishads that are happening, that Jignasa leads to the understanding that in essence what he is in essence what me am. After that, all search seeking ends. So after doing that Samhita Upanishad also, now into the fourth Anuvaka we are, to which we have given our yesterday exhaustive discussion. We had introduction, Bhashyakara's Bhashya also we studied. And what is there in these next two Anuvakas 4 and 5 is, fourth Anuvaka is a mantra for japa. A mantra given for japa, continuously, constantly. And what that mantra is given for us, why we have to do the japa, is for the medha kamana. Just like we said now, the jignasa makes us go to study the subject. But along in that, if you also have the medha shakti, all that studied understood is kept in the heart, then newer knowledges, earlier knowledges, they are mixed with or compared with or complemented with each other. Thus, we grow in our knowledge and understanding from the lower to the higher heights. So that medha kamana of all the shastra jnanam which we have gained is the sankalpa to fulfill which to invoke the grace of Bhagwan in the form of the Om. The repetition of this entire mantra is taught to us, which we are calling it as japa. In the next mantra, there will be huge exhaustive mantras of swahakara, which are for doing the homa or havana. And through that homa havana and doing swahakara to again the omkara only, what we are seeking from him at that time is Shri Kamaha, the desire of the wealth, all sorts of wealths. In Vedanta, purely if you talk, the Medha Kama is Tattvamasi Mahavakya Jnanam. The Shri Kamana is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada. So, Medha Kama gives us the Sadhya Nishtha, what is our goal. Then the Shri Kama gives us Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada, with which the Sadhya Nishtha jo paane ke liye, the Shravana Mananidhi Dhyasana Sadhana we do without faith. That's how purely spiritually, if we apply these two desires of Medhas and Shri. In general, the Shri again is for serving the world, to remove the dukkha of the world, to the extent we can do. And Shri is also for doing all the beautiful spiritual programs of yajnas and upasanas, so that we are propitiating all the devatas, making them happy, and clearing our debts towards them. And within us also, all our antakarana becomes purified. So, Shri Kama for yajna upasana, so that antakarana is purified. Medha Kamana is to study Shastras from the Guru and remember all the knowledge and do contemplation, meditation on that and reach out to the truth. Now, see the sequence as well as relevance and need of all these topics, right from the Upodghata Bhashya of Shankara and the mantras that the Rishi is teaching us. As we are going to study in the near future, the Brahma Vidya, so the Sri Kama, the Medha Kama, both are given to us. And as from this standpoint, Sanatana Dharma mein, both not only Medha for moksha, but even the Shri also desired, worked for, gained, indulged, enjoyed, used to serve the world, used to serve the Lord with all the Shri. When all of them are done, then in the pursuit of Paramatma, even that also is given up. That's what a complete life. पढ़ो सीखो काम करो पैसे कमाओ एंजॉय करो सबके सेवा करो भगवान का उपासना करो उस धन से उसके बाद सब कुछ किया गया है देन वी अंडरस्टैंड हाउ फार दे हेल्प एंड नॉट बियॉन्ड देन विलिंगली एफर्टलेसली we rise above it, therefore we give it up and we pursue the ultimate truth. Then there's no glani, there's no regret. Like yesterday, when we studied the Yati Charitra, second time he got the youthhood from his son Puru and he indulged in the whole world two times. His own life and his son. So much indulgence that it is so clear to him now that the world and worldly indulgences have no end. Chahe millions of lives you may have, then we only have to put an end to it by keeping in our mind the higher goal beyond this. That's what he did it. So he gave the youthhood to the son, took the old age, he gave the kingdom to the him, and then he went into that nyasa or ashrama or sannyasa, vanaprastha. There he did tapasya and realized. So this is how a complete life. A person without Sri, directly with the Medha, understood Shastra and its glory, doesn't want to go through this usual path of earning wealth, spending wealth, indulging wealth. It's very good. That is great ultimate. But everybody is not fit for it. Most of the jivas are fit only to work, earn, enjoy, then know the limitations of it, then go beyond it. You and I are all in the work, earn, enjoy stage. Then, when we use our intellect, then we know what we are enjoying. We will definitely know what we are enjoying is not the best, not the ultimate. Because effortful is fearful, is endful, it is bindingful. So many are there in this. Is there any effortless, fearless, unbinding, infinite? A question should come little later. If it comes right now, you are already entering into the path of spirituality. If not, even after some time, every jiva will be given that jignasa one day. Is this ultimate or is there anything other than this? Then he will definitely be told. In the beginning, he'll also not like it because the pull of this worldliness is so much. But when that jignasa or listening to the books or studying the books, listening to the guru, when goes on happening, slowly, slowly, the mumukshuta and jignasa grows, then accordingly all the Shri Kamana and Shri utilization automatically will take the back seat. And instead of allowing it to happen incidentally or in its own course, sadhakas are they who put extra effort to happen it in their own lifespan under their own supervision consciously. Consciously doing is better. It takes us to the goal very quickly. So consciously observe what we have done so far in life, earned Shri, enjoyed and all that. Now you will go for the Medha. इस तरह से. So let us chant the mantra 3 times. Then we will see the Bhashyakara's Bhashya. And as I said yesterday, keep a goal of chanting this mantra every day few times till it is 11,000 times. बाकी सब मिल जाएगा आपको. ये वाला मत से मेदस श्री भी चाहिए तो नेक्स्ट वाला वाई व्हील मेद में ही श्री है बिकॉज इन दिस ज्ञान मुक्ति इज देयर स्टार्ट ओम यश्छंदसाम वृषभो विश्वरूपः छंदोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् संबभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतो अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासम् शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भोरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय up to this again ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् संबभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भोरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् संबभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतो अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So these are the mantras to be chanted as japa every day by the person who is Medha Kami. Medha Kamana, the one who has got. Now this is a japa and in this there is a prayer. So whenever we are doing a prayer, it is addressed to someone. And that someone cannot be anyone. In the Upanishad, it is direct the infinite Paramatma. And for that infinite Shaktishali Paramatma, who is doing the Srushti Sthitilaya of Ananta Koti Brahmandas, every movement with his mere Sankalpa and all, that Paramatma in the Vedas is mentioned as, given a name as Om. Therefore, be clear in this mantra about the first point that this is addressed to Parabrahma Paramatma through the name and medium of Om. Om is the one whom we are addressing, and this Om is Sakshat Sarva Shaktiman Paramatma only. In the Vaidika Kala, that is how it was done. Om. Om, we have already studied in various Upanishads. In this also we can see Om is Akshara Parabrahma is equal to that Sadgana Chidgana Ananda Sachidananda Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, and then Om himself is the Kshara Brahma. Is it not? Shabala Brahma. The moment he becomes Kshara Brahma, he is the Ishvara with his infinite Maya Shakti, who is the Karaka of the Srushti Sthiti Laya. Because of that only, in that Katha Upanishad, etadalammanam sreshtam, etadalammanam param, etadalammanam param gnatva, two things are told there. One, yo yadichati tasya tato. Second is brahmaloke mahiyate. Yo yadichati tasya tat is anything he desires, he will get. Because he is Akshara Brahma, that is Ishvara, that is Sarvashaktiman, he is Srishti Sthilaya Karaka, then he is the one who has got Karuna for the Jivas or the Bhaktas. Therefore, whatever these Bhakta desires, that Kshara Brahma Ishvara, whom we are addressing as Om, he will bless with. Then that Om itself being the Akshara Brahma, then Brahmaloke Mahiyate, he will experience the Brahma Swarupa, Brahma Tattva also through this Omkar. In this Upanishad also, in through our three Anuvakas or little later, we will see the Pranav Mantra and its greatness, etc. You and I, luckily from more than almost a year, without break, every day we are chanting Om 18 times. The day we started our मांडूक्य उपनिषद पता नहीं 9 महीने 10 महीने हो गए होंगे we are doing it, and in that agama prakarana only we have seen how the Om was explained after the three avasthas and the turiya avastha was dealt with, and we at least know little vague of it. Then that is Om's meditation. Okay, Omkara's meaning. Then along with that, there is Om Upasana. In the Upasana of the Om, the Ucharana also Om is there. Om is taken as any of the Devatas, including Ishta Devata, and all Upasanas are done. Then at the higher level, the Om chanting, be attentive, should take us to the Nirantara Dhvani that is happening to us, in us. That Dhvani is Stula also, the Sukshma also, Sukshmate Sukshma also. That Sukshma te Sukshma Dhvani is called Paravani. And this is how be attentive. Through the alambana of the Omkara, which we utter in the beginning, later on we see that the mind itself is chanting effortlessly. Thereafter, tracing into the origin of the Om, thereafter reaching to the Paravani, even tracing the basis of Paravani, we reach to the Parabrahma, who is expressing as Paravani. This is called as Omkara Nada Brahma Upasana, through in which we take the support of the Om and go to the Nada, and from the Nada we go to the Bindu. That Bindu is Parabrahma. Beyond that Bindu is Parabrahma. This is one Upasana. Another was the Uma, and into those three matras, the Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti are dissolved, and the A into U into Ma into Amatra. See, all those were taught to us in various Upanishads. So, one day we have to sit and write all of them, clearly understand, and start doing also. After that, in this entire world of happenings, what we see at a later stage is nothing but Omkara in its Nama Rupa, in its Rupa Rupa. Whole world is nothing but Nama and Rupa. All the Namas are Shabdas, all Shabdas are Auma. They were all Namas are Om only. And there is no Rupa independent of Nama. They were all the Rupas also nothing but Om. So that's how convictions come in the heart. Then through the upasana of the Omkara, listen carefully, all the names and forms are dissolved in Om. Om is dissolved in the experience of the Parabrahma. So all these when we start doing, then the clarity start happening. And now without doing, how much our Guru tries to say, completely we will not be able to catch it. That Om is addressed here. And he is praised for, in the beginning, to create that atmosphere of surrender in our heart, the mood of prayer. When you do the praise, you feel that prayer mood, the surrender mood, the salutation mood. Then you also will have that confidence that the Lord will bless, and then with all that sincerity and faith, we can pray to the Lord to bless us. So the praise is done first, prayer is done later on. So the simple literal meaning, then the Bhashyakara's meaning, that is not at all difficult. Not at all difficult, but highly effective and useful mantra is this one. So first Om. So in the Upanishad, Om is not added, but in general, in various other Veda mantras, Om is added here for this. So therefore we say Om. Then Yaha. I'll do the Sandhi Vicheda for you of all the Pada. Then the Pada Artha is told. Then Vakya Artha is told. Then Bhashya Artha also we study. So Om, Lord, Yaha. Yaha, whoever he may be, he who. Chandasam Rushabha. Vishwarupah. Chandobhyah. Adhi Amrutat Sambabhuva. Saha मे इंद्रः मेधया स्पृणोतु सह म इंद्रः मेधया स्पृणोतु. Then what? Amrutasya he deva dharanah bhuyasam. Amrutasya deva dharanah bhuyasam. Shariram me vicharsanam. Jihva me madhumattama. Karnabhyam bhuri vishruvam. Brahmanah koshah asi. Medhaya pihitah. Shrutam me gopaya. These are the words that are there in this. Now, word by word meaning. Om is the name of the Lord. Then Yaha, that Lord who is this. To him we are praying. What is he? Chandasam Rushabha. Rushabha Shreshtaha. Best to. Chandasa means in the Vedas, in the Vedic theme, in the Vedic knowledge. So that Lord who is the best in the Vedic knowledge. Means what? In all the Vedas, the one who is ultimately described or explained. Okay, and that is what Parabrahma only, and that is what Om only. So Om is Nama and Pratik and Alambana, and through the Om Nama at Pratik Alambana, what is explained is the Parabrahma only. And in Vedas, there may be million things that are told, but the Rishabha, the most important thing that is told in the Veda is Omkara, and Omkara has many meanings, but the ultimate meaning, the Rishabha meaning of Omkara is Parabrahma only. So in this way, in all these ways of explanation, in the Chandas or the Vedas, the one who is Rishabha, that is Shrestha. That is Omkara, that is Ishvara, that is Parabrahma. Yaha Chandasam Rishabha. And then Vishwarupaha, the one who is in the form of Vishwa. Vishwa means Sarva in Sanskrit. Therefore, the one who is Sarva Rupa or Vishwarupa or Sarva Vishwarupa. Entire world's form. The one who is taken. He alone, the whole world is his form. Interesting. Entire world Paramatma ki Rupa hai. Vishwam, everything is his own Rupa. Vishwam Vishnu Rupa. So Yaha Chandasam Rushabha explained. Vishwa Rupaha explained. Vishwa Rupa Rupaha, Vishwa Nama Rupaha. And then as the Rupas are changing in the world, to them the names also are changed. Therefore, those all changed and changes and their changed name also is again he only. More deeply if analyze, all these also one can catch. So Yaha, that Lord who is Chandasam Rushabha, best among the Vedas, as the theme also, as the giver of Veda also, as the one who blesses those who are doing Upasana of the Veda for Jnana Marga or Upasana Marga, Yajna Marga. तो इतने सारे हम अर्थ जोड़ सकते हैं छंदसाम वृषभः. And then the one who is Vishwarupa. Vishwa is again Ananta Rupa. The one who has got Ananta only has the Rupa. And Vividam Shvaiti iti Rupaha. And Vishwas every Nama Rupa Rupa. Then where he has come out of, or how he can be brought into our cognition or our understanding, our experience. Next line says, Chandobhyaha, listen carefully, Adhi Amrutat Sam Babhuva. from the Amrita of the Vedas. Okay, when it is churned out, then Samyak Babhuva. This Omkara also came, and then those who do the churning of the Vedas, Vedanta Granthas, Vedanta Shastras, then this Brahma who is Omkara, which is when experience is Amrita Swarupa, it came out, it's going on, coming out, it will come out for whoever who does it. Do what? The churning of the Veda Shastras. Chandasam Rushabha Vishwarupaha Chandobhyaha Adi Amrutat Sambhavuva. So Chandas Rupi Amrit se prakat huva. That's the literal meaning. Chandobhyaha Adi Amrutat Sambhavuva. And then how the Amrita came in Kshirasagara? Mathana. So to those who do the Mathana of these Vedantam Granthas, then he will experience that Om and Parabrahma. What is the nature of the Om or Parabrahma? Amrutam. That Lord. Saha Ma to me, Indraha, that is Shrestha Bhagwan. This is the prayer. Medhaya Sprunotu. Sprunotu means contact me with and make me endowed with. What do you want? Medhaya. May I have the Medha Shakti. Medha is again a simple literal meaning, but its application is many. Medha means the power of retention. है ना? Power of retention depends on the power of knowledge. Power of knowledge depends on the power of concentration. Power of concentration depends on the power of detachment. Because the more you are attached to, the more we are distracted. So where there is detachment or vairagya leads to power of concentration or ekagrata. That ekagrata leads to the jnanam. Then the jnanam when repeatedly gained, then it becomes memory. That memory is called a medha. That is the application of the medha is what? All the time we are in memory. We are never in the loss of memory. Like yesterday, we were talking about the tamoguna. The smriti is lost. That's called tamoguna. Tamasic karta, he does action in a mood of forgetfulness. We saw that, no? Not having that, always pakka in the memory is called a medha. And in the memory about what? Then it's a big subject. We'll talk only about spiritual. That I am Brahman. If this experience is there, this is ultimate medhas. A lower level of medhas is what? Remembering that goal, that I am Brahman. And how I am Brahman, ready reckoner knowledge is with me. With all the Shastra quotations, with all the explanation given by the Guru, with all the logics he gave us, and all the examples he gave. Clear? Then to experience that Brahma Tattva, what are the things to be given up, are the things to be done? About that always Medha. Putting all that together, I am the pursuer of Brahma Tattva, I am Brahma Jignasu. I, through knowing myself as Brahma, want to get out of Jiva. This is the only sole purpose of my life. This is so much memorized or remembered. That's called as Medha. These all Medhas positive. The use of the Medhas in the other way, what? Always again in the Medhas, it is there that how much ever I am involved in the world with whatever reasons of duty or service, I have in my Medhas that the entire world is unreal. My worldly involvements are only for purpose of clearing debts, becoming introverted, purifying antakarna. वो भी याद होना है. So Medhas is a common thing where you have memory. That from common thing called memory, what time, what thing should be required to remember and do the action, that should be supplied. Like in the Vyavahara, two Medhas are required. How best I have to do that Vyavahara? Second is knowing that the Vyavahara is not ultimate goal. That's called as Medhas. Yadarena, like I am in the class now. The two Medhas for me are what? I must know how I have to speak and what I have to speak pakka. This is one Medha. Second, I must know the purpose of this is nothing outer, it is inner. Inside, I am become more clear about this knowledge. My conviction is growing. And after the growth of conviction, my spiritual pursuit should become easy, effortless. If I consciously remember it and do this, my pravachana, I have got Medha. If all these are forgotten, just intellectually speaking out with some satisfaction that it is being spoken, some people have got benefit out of, उसका वो मेधा नहीं है, उनका है उतना लेवल का, लोअर लेवल का मेधा से. That's why in our Saraswati Stotram we say Sharda Stotram, Ya Shraddha Dharana Medha Vagdevi Vidivallabha Bhakta Jihvagra Sadhana Shamadhi Gunadayini. That Mother Saraswati, Shraddha Dharana Medha. Shraddha is liking, Dharana is concentration and studying knowledge, Medha is retention. We pray to her for this. So, Samendro Medaya Sprunotu. So when we ask that Omkara Bhagavan to give us with Medha, then to give us Medha, to make us having that Medhavi, whatever the preparations required, whatever the editings required, he sees to is that it all will be done. मेधा शक्ति वो दे देंगे. फिर हमारा चिप जो दिमाग का है उसमें क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है क्या इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ऑल दैट रिमूव्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई टेल यू, when we pray through this mantra to the Pranava Rupa Parabrahma to give us Medha Shakti, what it does, whatever the bitterest experiences you have gone through, he will see to it that those are forgotten. And whatever your goal is there for the future and in the present, what present you have to do, that alone is remembered. In this way, that Guru or that Paramatma, that Omkara blesses us. It's required also. Else, if I don't remember my goal and sadhana, and if I only remember all my past miseries or failures or dukkha, I cannot move even one step. Forget about moving. I'll always be in my suffering of emotions. Dukkha, disappointment, rejection. ये क्यों हुआ मुझे कैसा? Is it not? The blessings of the Omkara is what not to remember, it is made to be forgotten. This is a blessing. Why people don't get good sleep? Why don't come to class? Why always frowning face? Because all the stupidity is done and the consequences experienced. They have such a good memory of that. And the face is always miserable and frowning. हो गया तो हो गया, भूल जाओ. What is a goal to be done? Let us do that. Let us remember it. Because past में से कुछ सीखने के अलावा उसको तो हम कुछ कर तो नहीं सकते. That wisdom the Lord gives us. Unknowingly only. Like Medha Shakti of the ISRO people. So that satellite failure, hua launching, Chandrayaan 2. Now, if they don't have the Medha Shakti, then only they brood over, worry over that failure. If they have the Medha Shakti by the grace of Mother, Omkara or Sarasdev, then they learn from that कि where we might have gone mistake. Up to that वहाँ पहुँच गए, सोचते 2-4 किलोमीटर पहले वो रुक गया या इधर उधर गया. So up to that, therefore it is successful. Then what might have been the reason? So what is to be improved upon? So they focus on that. They find such a means by which the next launching will be successful. That's called Medha Shakti. That is a blessing of that Omkara if one prays. So learning from the past, doing the best efforts in the present for having a glorious future. The knowledge, memory, confidence that is required is given to us by that Omkara when this mantra is chanted, which is very essential. And this Medha Shakti, although it is should be mainly for the spiritual pursuit of knowing truth, but same Medha Shakti is required also to conduct in the world in decency, in our own decency. And if you are a responsible person, then if you are a chosen person by the country or somebody, the group, to serve them, to contribute, then it's only Medha. Is it not? As we were saying the other day, if the government, whoever are there, have to plan for the glorious future of the nation in all fronts, how much Medha Shakti is required? So much. So much of thinking has to be done, so much of knowledge, so much of understanding of its consequences and how to, make it proper, like the issue this is going on nowadays. So much Medha Shakti is required to sustain the glory of Hinduism, the same time to just see how it has to be responded to the comments of the entire world. Very carefully, without creating chaos. There are many other truths. For example, If somebody said something like that, if so much of reaction is happening in the entire world, how many thousands of times our own Hindu gods were destroyed in the temples, etc. How much reaction we, the Hindus, should have? How much pain we must have gone through? Somebody should raise this and make all of them know. Because some one person said something, the entire world is raising voice against our India now. It is true. What is done is not to be done. We take back that sentence. Before we apologize, we ask you to apologize each one for 30,000 times for the 30,000 temples which you have broken ours. ये हिम्मत है किसी को? मतलब धीरे धीरे करना है उसको. I'm telling मेधा. You have to see that the already gained growth or goodwill is sustained. It should not be hindered. The future also should be kept in mind. More important than all that is, what is the world now populated with more? Which type of people? The fanatics, the rigid people, those who know the truth or don't know the truth. We have to be wise to conduct in the world. सत्य जो है ना, सत्य का ही जीत होता है, लेकिन तुरंत नहीं होता है, अपने टाइम में होता है. उससे पहले झेलना ही पड़ता है. So the government has to have the Medha Shakti. We also have to have the Medha Shakti as to how to protect that couple through all our prayers. Nothing should happen to them or anybody. No, I am telling everywhere Medha required. So Samendro Medhaya Smrunatu. And the highest Medha is only these four things. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, and Jiva Eva Brahmaha Napara. Anena Vedyam Satchastram Iti Vedanta Dindimaha. That is the highest Medha we seek. So, Yaha Chandasam Rushabha Vishwarupaha Chandobhya Adi Amrutat Sambhabhuva Sa Ma Indraha Medhaya Smrunam. Okay, यहाँ तक. Then another prayer. Amrutasya He Deva Dharanaha Bhuyasa. Bhuyasa means may I become. Dharanaha means the beholder of. Deva means vocative, addressing. Oh Lord, we are requesting you that may I become beholder of what? Amrutasya, immortality. Ye Deva Amrutasya Dharanaha Bhuyasam. May I become the beholder or the holder of the Amruta Anubhava. Not the Mruta. We are all now, Dharana we are doing of the Mrutata only of the Jiva Bhava and our Panchakosha Tadat. इसी को पकड़ के रखे. So that's why Medha Dharana is, that's what is prayed here. They have connection. And you have to have Shraddha in that Omkara that He will bless us. So with the Shraddha in the Omkara when we are praying, in that there is a Dharana. Dharana leads to the Medha. Amrutasya Deva Dharana Bhuyasa. Amrutasya Dharana, not Mrutasya. These four things later on are very crucial. That how to have the Amruta Dharanatva, how to have the Medha in us. The four things is first, Shariram me Vicharshanam. So we are praying to the Lord. May my body is Vicharshanam, means without any ill health at any moment for any reason. Fully. विचर्षण चाहिए मतलब शरीर इतना भी हमको साधना में डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना. So full of health, full of energy, full of all the staminas in that body, it should be there. Shariram me vicharshanam. Asking the same Om Rupa, Chandasam Rushabha, Rupa Paramatma only. Shariram me vicharshanam. Then how He helps us, blesses us, He will give such dimag to us by which we keep control on every aspect of the involvement through the body, by which the health always is maintained. सही खाना, सही एक्सरसाइज, सही नींद, सारे ऑटोमेटिक नेचुरल होते हैं हमारे अंदर, ताकि शरीर इज ऑलवेज विचर्षण, full of cooperation. Then when we actually do any of spiritual pursuits, the first thing to be achieved is we have to rise above the identity of the Deha. Because all sadhana is done in the mind, by the mind, on the mind. देह का ख्याल या भान ही भूलना चाहिए. How will it when it will happen? Only when the body is 100% fit and healthy. Any pain is there, any heaviness is there, then mind is pulled towards that. You can see in your own classes, whenever in the evening you ate less or healthy food, and morning you can see the body is in the vicharshana sthiti. You are not even aware of the body. The class is wonderfully heard. Another day, body gives so many fever or the pain or whatever. उस दिन पूरा दिमाग शरीर पे ही होता है. Nothing of the class is heard. So, shariram me vicharshanam. As we were saying yesterday also, desire to live for 100 years with all the health so that maximum sadhana is done in this very life. Even the experience is also gained. Aparmat. Then the second one is what? Ki in this world, not only for gaining the medha, or the medha is given to us by the gurus, to get that knowledge from the guru, we have to request them, we ask them, we have to behave with them so beautifully. All that depends on how we speak. Therefore, Jikhva me madhumattama. So with a healthy body, I went to the Guru, and with a sweet tongue, I praised the Guru and requested him. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. Is it not in that Mundaka and also in Prashna, every of the disciple address the Guru as Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. भगवान कुतो हवा इमाः प्रजा प्रजायन्ते. भगवान कानि अस्मिन् स्वपन्ति कानि अस्मिन् जागरति. ओंकानो अभिध्यायित कथमं वावस लोकम जयति. Every of the disciple address the Guru with Bhagavan, Bhagavan. Almost all the six of them, I think, in Prashna Upanishad. That Jikhva me madhumattama. Let my tongue be with so much of sweetness that Guru or anybody should be waiting to listen to our words. They see Madhumattara, Madhumattama. The comparative and superlatively it is said. Madhumattamaha. Sweeter than the sweetest. My jihva should be. Not because of eating sweets, you get diabetes. Yeah, the sweetness of respect, the reverence, shraddha, right vocabulary, and more important than all that is the tone and tune. And all that is said in the Siksha Adhyaya. Varnaha, Swaraha, Matra, Valam, Sama, Santana, all we have already seen. So may I have the jiva, which is Madhumattama, not once or twice with somebody whom you love the most. जिनसे हम बहुत प्यार करते हैं वो मधुमत्तमा हो जाती जिह्वा तो हम तो इतने फिदा फिदा हो जाते हैं. Whomever we love. Sometimes it can be your own pet dog. You call it with so much sweetness. Tommy, Tommy. That much sweetness you'll never have when you call Swami, Swami. Swami is very jealousy. But Tommy, you love it. Why Tommy you love? Because Tommy never gives satsanga. It only listens to you. So, or to anybody, your child. Some moods come in the mind. Then the nectar of all sweetness comes into the tongue and you pour out so many words. Beautiful. Not one condition because some expectation in one place, but my jiva should be always madhumattama. Even if I am a judge of the court, I have to give punishment, to that person who is proved convicted. Or even if I have to scold somebody or teach or educate, all the time jihva madhumattama. And in our Bhakti Shastra, the tongue is said to be Madhumattama only when always Bhagavan Nama is there. Madhuram, Madhuram. Rama Nama Madhuram, Shiva Nama Madhuram, Krishna Nama Madhuram, Devi Nama Madhuram. So Jihva me Madhumattama. And here the Omkara is Madhuram. Veda mantras are Madhuram. Upanishad mantras are Madhuram. Tattva Jnana mantras are Madhuram. Then Upasana mantras are Madhuram. Jiva me madhumattama. See, please, what we have to understand is, when we study the Vedanta, at least not Vedanta Upanishad, we think that something beyond world alone is taught. There's no doubt that Upanishad talks about something beyond the absolute truth. In fact, that is the goal. But before that, all those are required, those aspects required to pursue that, and all those things which help us in the world, they are also taught with Upanishads are complete, Vedas are complete. देखो शरीर में विचर्षणम includes all the physical cares, no? Jiva में madhavatama includes all the vocal things. Because that's what I said just now in 10 minutes back. Because slip tongue of only one sentence, how much chaos are happening in the entire world. One जिह्वा मधुमत्तमा नहीं होने से कितना टेंशन हो गया. And everybody knows what is said is again true. Or what was said, I don't know exactly. So I say, so jihva should be always madhumattama. Little bit it slips, then you can't take it back. It is required in the world also. Then, when with the healthy body we go to the Guru and sweetly we speak to him and request him, please give me the Brahma Vidya, O Guru. And when he teaches to us Brahma Vidya, where should be our ears, sir? They should be fully focused to listen. Is it not? Therefore, Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam. Bhuri means maximum. So, Karnabhyam through my ears, Bhuri, maximum, Vishruvam, may I listen. So maximum may I listen means what? Every word of the Guru I will listen. And every word's meaning I understand as it is intended by the Guru. Then Bhuri Vishram includes he spoke once only, but we are listening many times. That much ability, O Guru, O Lord, O Omkara, O Paramatma, please give me. And Bhuri Vishram includes repeatedly listening till the subject is understood. Bhuri Vishram also includes exhaustively maximum listening. Finally, Bhuri Vishram is listening only the truth, no other thing. Truth alone, exhaustively, repeatedly listened or heard from the Guru, from the book, from our own Antakarna. Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishram. You know, the connection between these three, the shariras, vicharsanatvam, madhumattattva of the jihva, karnabhyam, bhuri vishnu is very important. It's a big subject. Again, if we touch it or we, you know, start entering into it, it takes hours together. This much we must know. As it is said, why Bhagavan gave 2 ears and 1 mouth is to speak less but listen more. We do the other way around. Listen zero and go on speaking on. दो ही बातें जिंदगी में रखना समझना. एक बोलना बंद, दूसरा सुनना शुरू. All problems get solved. Even in front of Guru or the Lord in the temple, कुछ समय के लिए बोलो, but बंद करो. Then वो क्या कह रहे हैं सुनो. How many times we go to temple to speak to God? We never listen to God. We don't listen to the Guru. We are always speaking to the Guru outside or inside. If you have quiet mind, if you listen, Bhuri Vishruama, you get the idea, you get the knowledge, you get all the solutions. Let that Bhuri Vishruam means expanding, exhaustive, intense, and deep listening. May I am blessed with. In that Bhuri Vishruam, a idea, a prayer is what? Ki the Guru should not be requiring to repeatedly tell. So that once he told and I got it, I am not asking him again the same thing. That's called Bhuri Vishwa. तो बहुत सुना, सब कुछ सुना, अच्छी तरह से सुना, ध्यान से सुना, बार बार सुना, पूरा समझ में आने की तरह सुना. कर्णाभ्याम भूरि विश्वम. Okay, then Brahmana Kosha Asi. You are like a sheath to Brahman, like the sheath of a sword. Sword as a sheath. Everything, so many things are there. Our specs also have a sheath. Our pen, etc., also are sheathed. Then everyone, our cell phones, we keep in the sheath only to protect. That cover, external cover is called kosha. So, kosha, Brahmana, kosha asi. That Omkara, you are the kosha of the Brahma. So, the Meaning of it is not in the negative form that you are covering the Brahman from, it's a revelation. Nah, the specs box is not covering the specs inside. Is it not? The sword is not covered and made unseen by the sheath. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of sheath, both in both cases, of the specs or the sword, is to protect the sword, to make it stay safe. अगर बाहर रखो तो फिर वो पानी धूल मिट्टी हवा तो उसको जंग लग जाता है. So the specs get some marks etc. Then you can't see. इसलिए उसको आराम से हम लगता. In the same way, in a most safe and secured form, this Brahma, Parabrahma, is koshad or put in the sheath called as Omkar. Okay. But that Omkara is covered by our Panchakoshas. These Panchakoshas we have to keep away, which will be the subject of entire Taittiriya Upanishad. So पंचकोश रूपी शीतों को छोड़कर फिर ओंकार रूपी शीत के अंदर जो परमात्मा है हमें उनको जानना है. ब्रह्मणा कोशः सि. Then medhaya pihitaha. This also, the simple meaning is what? Covered by medhas. Covered by the medhas. Medha means knowledge. Either medhaya pihitaha, what is said in the Shastra is, the Lord is covered because of the knowledge of the worldliness. Isn't it? The knowledge of the world is covering the knowledge of the self or the God. How is it so? Because all of us have the medhas or the effort to medhas only about the worldliness. We are never having time or patience, etc., to know the Paramatma, the truth. This is one meaning. The deeper meaning is what? Medha is knowledge. Knowledge includes the triputi of knower, known, and knowledge. Is it not? This triputi is the one which is covering that which is beyond these three. Only when we transcend these three of Jnata, Jnanam, Jnayam, then Shuddha, Druk Swarupa, Jnapti Swarupa, Parabrahma we experience. That is the meaning of Medhaya Petaha. And the highlight of this entire mantra, most important one, is the last sentence. What is that? Shrutam me gopaya. So me shrutam gopaya. Means what? Whatever I have heard, that knowledge be protected in me. Means that should stay safe. That knowledge should not go away or forgotten. So to that knowledge, me mahyam gopaya. Every knowledge I gained, may it protect me on my path of spirituality till I reach the goal. This is a simple meaning, and you have heard it. When you hear it, don't you see the beauty of this mantra and prayer? How much essential it is, both for world but especially for spirituality. Yaha chandasaam rushabha vishwarupah chandobhyah adi amrutat sambhavuva saha ma indraha medaya sprunotu amrutasya he deva dharanah bhuyasam me shariram vicharshinam me jihva madhumattama aham karnabhyam bhuri vishruham tvam brahmana koshahasi medaya pitah me shrutam gopaya. Om Shanti 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 Trivida Shanti. When you chant this mantra, Shanti mantra. But now here we are chanting it or studying it as one of the Anuvaka of the Upanishad. Therefore, Om and Shanti are not there but can be kept in the heart. Okay. So in this way, literally is the meaning of this mantra. So idea has come to us more than 50-60%. Now we will respect, revere our Bhagavan Adi Shankara by studying the same mantra with his Bhashyam. And again we repeatedly chant, meaning becomes clear. Then because meaning is clear, then the need of really praying to the Lord is accepted more deeply. Thereafter, this mantra we can make as a great support for us by chanting which or through which we invoke the grace of Bhagavan for all our achievements, especially Medhas. So this is how the beauty of this mantra. Now let us see the Bhashyam, little of it. Om Yaha. Yaha is whoever, that is meaning direct, simple. one in word explain it. Chandasam means Vedanam. Chandasam means of all the Vedas. Veda is the written form of knowledge. To know is Veda, Vida. Okay, written form of the knowledge is Veda, or spoken form of knowledge is Veda. Knowledge spoken, knowledge written is Veda. Speech and books are not Veda. In the speech and in the books, what knowledge is there, that is called Veda. So Chandasam means Vedanam. Rushabhaha. What is Rushabhaha? Rushabhaha iva Rushabhaha. Rushabha ke tara Rushabha hai. And one word explanation only he will give. Pradhanyatu. Pradhana. See, in that cattle, no, mainly the cow farm, 1,000 cows may be there. They have their own divinity, utility, greatness, and glory. Yet, among those 10,000 cows, what something shines out, specially, exclusively, is one Rushabha. Because what one Rushabha can do, the 1,000 cows cannot do. Of breeding, is it not? Therefore, though cows are pradhana in their own way, but when in some exclusive cases, the Rushabha is more pradhana than all the cows. That's why Rushabha iva Rushabha, how pradhanyat. What is the pradhanata? That only the bull can do some things, not all other cows. Therefore, the word is used as Rushabha. And Rushabha, that way, is the word used to explain about anything which is pradhana. That pradhana, in another words, called as shrestha. So anything shrestha is called as Rishabha, because among all the animals, cows are best, cow jati, go jati. In that, the Rishabha is best. Rishabha is not only for khet jotna or tel nikalna, gumte gumte, but mainly it is the one because the entire cow jati progeny continues. Rushabha. That's why that anything Shrestha is called as Rishabha. The best among the human beings is called as Nara Rishabha, Nara Rishabha. Is it not? Then the one who is best among the kings is called as Raja Rishabha. Is it not? Any Kula, if he is best, like Bharata Vamsha, Bharata Rishabha, Ikshvakshu Vamsha Rishabha. Everywhere the word Rishabha comes. Deva Rishabha, Raja Rishabha, Bharata Rishabha, Nara Rishabha. Any poetry may, arts may, talents may, whoever is best to Shrestha is called as Rishabha. Why? Rishabha iva Rishabha pradhanyat. So what is that? Omkara eva. The Om is the pradhana among all hundreds and thousands of things that are there in the Vedas. तो यहाँ छंदसाम वेदानाम ऋषभः इव ऋषभः प्राधान्यातु. प्रधानता मैंने बता दिया. And any expanded meaning, if you feel like, you can add it. Why it is called as ऋषभः प्राधान्य? किसमें? छंदसा वेदों में. Then विश्वरूपः, the next word. What is विश्वरूपः? सर्वरूपः. That Omkara is called Vishwarupa. Vishwa means Sarva, therefore he is the Sarvarupa. Why? Because Sarva Vag Vyaptyehe. Because everything is Vyapta by the Vak. Be careful. And the Vak is Vyapta by this Rishabha of Chandas called as Omkara or Pranava. A quotation is given. Tat yatha shankuna iti antarat iti shrutyantarato. So, the Shanku is in a leaf, green leaf. When we see with a gross eye carelessly, we see a leaf. But with a subtle eye, when you see carefully, leaf is what? The greenness of the leaf, be attentive, is supported by the network of some those very thin patle wale nerves like of things. They are called Shanku. They are the ones which are permeated in the leaf so much, supporting every aspect of the greenness of the leaf. वो जैसे आप ना पीपल के पेड़ का पत्ता कभी सूख जाता है ना, आप देखते हैं वो पत्ते का जो गिरता है वो, लेकिन दैट बॉर्डर विच इज देयर लाइक ए स्केलेटन टाइप, दैट रिमेन्स, दैट्स कॉल्ड शंकु ना. Shanku. That Shanku is fully vyapta in the leaf, supporting every aspect of the leaf. Like the skeleton in us is the one which is permeating, supporting all other limbs of the body, inner and outer. Skeleton का purpose is आपको support करना. So too, the Shanku is the one which is permeating the entire leaf and supporting the leafness. In the same way, entire the Vishwa, the Shabda is the one which is supporting, permeating and supporting. Therefore, this Shabda and whose substrat as Omkara is called as Vishwarupaha. विश्व रूप है, सर्वव्याप होकर सबको सपोर्ट कर रहा है. इनफैक्ट दैट शंकु एग्जाम्पल इज लिटिल लोअर. द स्केलेटन एग्जाम्पल इज लेस ओनली, बट द शंकु रूपी ओमकार is permeating everything by being the substratum of every rupa and every nama. That is why, without hesitation, the Rishi said the word Vishwarupa. सी देयर इज डिफरेंस. विश्व को देख रहा है परमात्मा, दूसरा विश्व के आधार है परमात्मा, तीसरा विश्व रूप परमात्मा का ही है. द थर्ड इज अल्टीमेट. विश्व को देख रहा है मीन्स एज इफ ही इज डिफरेंट, विश्व इज डिफरेंट. विश्व का आधार है मतलब ही हैज क्रिएटेड इट एंड इज अ क्रिएटर, इट्स क्रिएटेड सपोर्टिंग इज. बट विश्व के रूप में परमात्मा मीन्स एवरीथिंग इज नथिंग बट परमात्मा इज अल्टीमेट ट्रूथ. That's why we have to repeatedly contemplate to understand this statement कि that entire Vishwa is Omkara and the entire Omkara is Parabrahma. सोचना पड़ता है दिमाग, उसी के लिए तो मेधस मांग रहे. सो यहाँ छंदसाम वेदानाम ऋषभः ऋषभः इव ऋषभः प्राधान्यात् विश्वरूपः सर्वरूपः सर्ववाग् व्याप्तेः तद्यथा शंकुना इति श्रुति अंतरात्. अतः एव ऋषभत्वम् ओंकारस्य. Now he is introducing who is this Rishabha. He is called Omkar. And Om is the Nada which is permeating the entire Veda. Because Veda is nothing but Shabda Rupa, and Shabda is Nada Rupa. Nada is A-Uma Rupa. A-Uma is Om Rupa. So entire Vedas are nothing but Om, because Om alone is Rishabha among all of them, because Om is the all permeating Vishwarupa. So विश्व के हर जगह फैलने के कारण विश्वरूप है, विश्वरूप होने के कारण ऋषभ है. किसका? सारे विश्व का और विश्वरूपी वेदों का. सो यह छंदसाम ऋषभः विश्वरूपः. We have to read, understand them independently also and in combination also. Chandasam Rishabha Vishwarupaha. Revel there only for some time. Try to understand each of these words, sentences in completeness. तो यहाँ जो भी है परमात्मा ओंकार छंदसाम ऋषभः ऋषभरूपः ऋषभैव प्राधान्यात्. Then the pradhanyata of this Rishabhatva of the Omkara in the Chandas is more substantiated by the next word, Vishwarupaha. And how is the Vishwarupa? The example is given, Shankuna. Then he concludes it what? Ata eva Rishabhatvam Omkarasya. Just the Shanku is pervading entire leaf, then the Omkara is pervading all the Vedas. Therefore, Omkara is Rishabha of all the Vedas. And Om alone is, remember, Vishwarupa. Om alone is Brahmarupa. As if Brahma, Om is standing in between, making the Brahman appear as Vishwa, later on making the Vishwa merge in Brahman. That is why there is no higher, greater alambana than the Omkara. For both gaining anything of the world and also transcend the world and reach Parabrahma. This is what the Mahima of the Omkara told in all our other Upanishads. Then this Om, Chandobhya Hadi Amruta Sambhabhuva Samendro Medhya Spranotu. The Bhashyakara will explain. We will listen it tomorrow. Om Sarvam Sri Rishi Parampara Shrutimatoh Charanaravindar. And I already recommended to you all, including me, to chant this mantra every day as much as possible. My target is 216 per day minimum. If that permits, I'll do more if time is there. My total target is 11,000. And how much deeply, intensely I do, I don't know Ishwara Kripa. And how much His grace comes, that also in His hands. हम थोड़ा commitment लिए करें. You also do. I'm sharing it only for you also to get an idea. Somewhere we have to start doing things practically also. No? So it is said, do the japa of this mantra, then you get medhas. Therefore, let us do the japa and get medha. कम से कम हमको अगले जन्म में तो अच्छे तरह याददाश्त होना है कि नहीं सारे शास्त्र वेदों का. Yeah, so then do this chanting of this mantra as many times this life will remember. Even this life only will remember. So keep that in mind. Om, 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 Om. ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतो अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकराचार्य ऋषिभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम तत्सत्.